The focus of the Global Report on Food Crisis has released its 5th edition report for this 2023. The report reveals that member states of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, continue to struggle with a severe food crisis since 2022. This year, over 55 million people are experiencing acute hunger and need immediate food, nutrition, and livelihood assistance. These numbers are an increase of over 13 million from 2021. Our very own Joy Mochache has more.
The 5th edition of the GRFC report, which details the worrisome rise in severe food insecurity in the area over time, was formally released today by IGAD in Nairobi. IGAD reported a significant increase in drought over the previous 5 years. In 2002, the number of people in the region who suffered food insecurity reached an alarming 55.45 million across 7 of the 8 IGAD member states, that is Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Uganda. Eritrea's data was not available.
We have 158 million acute food insecure. This is a huge number. Again, it's bigger than, it's more than half of the number in Africa, which means that Eastern Africa has particular problems that it needs to solve. The conflicts do not help. The climate variability does not help. One issue that is clear is that the droughts have become more often than they used to be. The floods also have become more often and more intense than they used to be.
The director of ICPAC, Gulliad Artan, explained some of the factors that exacerbate the drought situation in the IGAD member states. Artan cited an unprecedented 3-year drought in the Horn of Africa, record-breaking flooding in South Sudan, protracted conflicts, macroeconomic challenges brought on by the ongoing effects of COVID-19 and made worse by the conflict in Ukraine.
The confluence of several things. One, we had a really crippling drought that was ongoing for 5 seasons. One of the worst droughts that this region has seen. Second effect is due to the conflicts and regional and global. For example, the Ukraine conflict has severely affected the macroeconomic conditions of the region. The third was that the effects of the COVID-19 restrictions, the effects that it had on the economy. So the food insecurity has dramatically increased.
The GRFC's research further shows that even with upcoming rains, humanitarian food assistance will be needed by up to 30 million people in Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, and Uganda, for which rain forecasts are known. Of these, an estimated 7.5 million people are anticipated to experience significant food consumption gaps and adopt emergency coping mechanisms in Kenya, Somalia, South Sudan, and Sudan. More than 83,000 people are anticipated to experience extreme food insecurity in the region's worst drought and conflict-affected areas, particularly in Somalia and South Sudan.
This year, we have around 55 million citizens of this region who are food insecure. What that means is that there is a scale called the IPC index. That means IPC index 3 or above. This is an increase of over 25% if you compare to 2021. 2021 was 42 million. The increase is due to the confluence of several things.
As stated in the IGAD Declaration on the Progress of Tackling Food Crises in the Region, the urgency and severity of the issues that the Eastern African region faces demand for prompt and concerted action to lessen the suffering of millions afflicted by acute food insecurity. Joy Mochache, reporting for Hope TV.